led off in the first grade one of the day, the bar1racing.com Royal Bun Novice Hurdle. 2 miles in front of them and 9 flights to jump, and it's My Mate Mozzie and Arctic Warrior disputing the lead on the short run of the first flight, followed by Mighty Potter. The grey out wide is Fat Out, and they're followed by Impervious, Statuaire and Utrecht. Heading for the second flight, taking them up to the stands first time, little between Arctic Warrior and My Mate Mozzie, followed by Mighty Potter and Far Out. Running the rail in the black and white colours, the unbeaten mare Impervious, with the final couple Utrecht and Statuaire. Arctic Warriors picked up a 2-length advantage, heading away to the third flight, followed by My Mate Mozzie, the pale blue and orange jacket, then Impervious, who's improved to move into third place ahead of Mighty Potter, then Far Out, Statuaire and Utrecht. Heading uphill to flights 3 and 4 along the side of the track, and it's Arctic Warrior and Mark Walsh in front of My Mate Mozzie, and Dar O'Keefe on board the for auction winner, and then Impervious and Brian Hayes. These are followed by Far Out and Sean O'Keefe. In between horses is Mighty Potter and Brian Cooper. Utrecht and Rachel Blackmore on the outside of Statuaire and Danny Mullins. Tightly grouped, racing to the fourth flight, over which it's Arctic Warrior the leader from My Mate Mozzie, Impervious next, then Far Out and Mighty Potter, Utrecht and Statuaire. Little or no changes in the order of running, climbing up to the top of the track, and it's Arctic Warrior making the bend. Less than a length in front of My Mate Mozzie, then Impervious, Far Out and Mighty Potter, Utrecht and Statuaire. Heading downhill on the far side to the fifth flight at the halfway stage. And it's Arctic Warrior in front of My Mate Mozzie, Impervious, Fat Out, Mighty Potter, Utrecht and Statuaire, although the back mark of the field remains well tightened up. At this flight, a mile from the finish, Arctic Warrior joined in the air by My Mate Mozzie, then Fat Out and Impervious. Mighty Potter is 2 behind Statuaire and Utrecht. 5 lengths covering them, 7 furlongs to go and 4 flights to jump, and the Bar 1 Racing Royal Bond Novice. And it's Arctic Warrior and My Mate Mozzie, closely followed by Impervious, and then Far Out, Mighty Potter, Statuaire and Utrecht. Racing to the fourth class flight, a little over 3/4 of a mile from the finish. And it's Arctic Warrior and My Mate Mozzie into this one, little between them, then Impervious, who's inclined to move out from the running rail. Going up in between Fat Out and My Mate Mozzie, then Mighty Potter, Statuaire. Was just checked for a stride there on the inside of Utrecht. 5 furlongs to go. They're even tightly grouped now with 3 flights to jump. Arctic Warrior, My Mate Mozzie jumping up to join them. Impervious out wide is Fat Out, and they're followed by Statuaire, Utrecht, Mighty Potter, scrimmaging with half a mile to go. My Mate Mozzie's just picked it up on the home turn from Impervious, and Fat Out makes 3 in a line. Then Mighty Potter and Utrecht and Statuaire, and knocked back to last. Arctic Warrior turning in with 2 flights to jump. And 3 abreast, My Mate Mozzie on the rail, in the centres Impervious, Fat Out, the greys on terms the outside. Right in behind them is Statuaire, then Utrecht, Mighty Potter dropping away is Arctic Warrior. My Mate Mozzie the leader, coming down to the final flight in the Bar 1 Racing Royal Bond Novice. My Mate Mozzie is kicking a few lengths clear from Far Out. Impervious, Statuaire is still staying on, but it's My Mate Mozzie at the final flight. Not the best jump in the world. In the centre is Statuaire is coming with Far Out and Mighty Potter's running on the inside. My Mate Mozzie is all out, unleashing a late run on the outside. Statuaire and My Mate Mozzie. That is gone to the judge. A tremendous battle between them. Then Mighty Potter and Far Out dipping heads.
Willie Mullins joins us now after winning the first of our Grade 1 races with Statuaire. Willie, congratulations. Huge result for all concerned. Just to throw her in here, looked a bit of a gamble on paper after a couple of wins in lesser races. How thrilled to see it pay off?
Yeah, she's a homebred filly, and I thought with her experience that she gained being brought up in France, knowing where she came out of, you know, she'd have a lot of jumping done. She won 2 small races in France, but when you look at it, the winner of the 3-year-old hurdle won a race down in Royan. I mean, if you told me to buy a horse out of Royan, I'd have said maybe not. So in France that can happen, and it's getting more so in Ireland, I think, too, because you know, if tracks are producing nicer ground during the summer, and she basically is summer filly, and I think we did the same with Early Beach. So it can be done, and Danny gave her a fantastic ride, coming from behind, just waited, let them all have their own little battles. I mean, they all got into a battle very quick, very early, I thought, and I'm looking at Danny up behind and said, well, at least he's keeping his powder dry, and I thought then going to the second last, well, he might get into the first three and get black type for her, which would have been important, and then he got a jump at the last, and I said, wow, it's all to play for here. So delighted for Danny, delighted for the connections with the homebred filly. What more could you want? That's her Gold Cup.
So while the last time we saw her was June, this has almost been the plan since then, has it?
Yeah, well, I was looking at that. I certainly had her in the entries, and we also entered her in the handicap today, and it was debated whether we should go for the handicap. But I think, she can run the handicap any day of her life. Now she doesn't have to. The key was the experience that she had coming from France, I think. That's why I said, right, she's going to have a lot more experience. It's not on paper, but she would have that jumping experience, and it paid off. You
mentioned there, I mean, this in many ways was a Gold Cup, but could you see her going on to hold her own at Grade 1 level going forward?
We're going to try. We'll aim for Leopardstown, we'll aim for the Dublin Racing Festival, and then I imagine the first port of call will be the Mayor's Novice in Cheltenham. But, who knows the way the novice is cut up, and she could end up, she could be a supreme novice mare the way she jumps.
And Willie, does this give you a lot of confidence in terms of the novices you still have to get out? Because there are a lot of, I know that you have, that need a bit of dig in the ground for one like this to win a Grade 1.
It should be. So what can I say? We think we have a nice bunch of novices, but, maybe she's going to be the best of them, I don't know.
We shall see. Tell you what, she's hit the jackpot today.